Have you ever experienced a new life after some kind of little death? Maybe a job loss or a failure, a change in a relationship or a change in your circumstances. And just when you thought you were finished, you thought you were done for, you received some kind of new sense of life, a new awareness of possibility. I think we've all experienced that in some way or other. But that's what we'll be talking about today. Hi, I'm John. I'm the founder and the facilitator of the Evo Faith Tribe, an online spiritual community that is based on evolutionary spirituality. If you want to explore faith in a new and more welcoming way, why not join us? For most of us, our view of the resurrection tends to be sadly limited. We think of it as an ancient event that happened once long ago to one special person. We think that resurrection only speaks of a physical human body being brought back to life. And we think that resurrection is only relevant to us if it gives us an eternal destiny in heaven, in a non-physical way, and in some other place that's not here on earth. And it happens after we die. But most of us forget that the Bible speaks of us being resurrected too, and even our earth. The Bible speaks into that. And most of us forget that resurrection changes those who are resurrected. Jesus was different in the biblical stories after his resurrection than he was before. He was not recognized by his disciples. There were very strange things that happened to him and around him. See, resurrection is not just being resuscitated back to what we were before we died. It's a process of change. It's a process of change. But these features of our kind of traditional view of resurrection, they can be difficult to get past. But I want to suggest that an evolutionary view of resurrection is much more exciting, and it fits what we know of the world and of ourselves much better than that traditional view. What does it look like to think of resurrection differently? Well, I want to suggest that resurrection is a constant unfolding reality of our universe. It's an integral feature of evolution. That in evolution, whatever dies comes alive in a new way or generates some kind of new life. In evolutionary spirituality, we recognize that we see resurrection happening everywhere, right here and now, not just a long time ago. Night and day is a kind of resurrection. Summer and winter, that's a kind of resurrection. The metamorphosis in all sorts of creatures, that's a kind of resurrection. That's just to name a few. My favorite, of course, is the example of the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. I think it was Margaret Wheatley. I read an interview with her where she spoke about how when a caterpillar goes into its chrysalis as the first step of transforming to a butterfly, the first thing that happens is some new cells emerge inside it. They're called imaginal cells, cells that hold the image of the butterfly. But the caterpillar's immune system see those cells as alien invaders, and so the immune system attacks those cells and destroys them. But more and more of these imaginal cells emerge in the caterpillar system, and eventually they overwhelm the immune system. And when that happens, the caterpillar kind of dissolves. It becomes a goo, like a soup inside the chrysalis. And out of that soup, the butterfly then emerges as a completely new, different creature from what the caterpillar was. And then the butterfly breaks out of the chrysalis and goes into the world. That's resurrection. But so what does that mean for us now? I want to suggest, first of all, it means that sometimes things in our lives need to be allowed to die, because without a death, there can be no resurrection. And that can be hard. It means we've got to let go sometimes when we don't want to. But it also means that we need to view death not as an ending, but as a beginning. And when things die, while grieving is important, we need to be on the lookout for the signs of new life that is being born out of that death. And that can become a habit, a practice, to be constantly on the lookout for signs of life, even in the midst of experiences of death, big physical death or the little deaths of the tragedies and struggles of our lives. And lastly, I want to suggest that we need to release the idea that resurrection is a one-time event that happened to Jesus long ago. Let's live now with the expectation of resurrection here and now in every moment. And practically, every morning when you wake up, let the sun shine, let the sun rise, let the sounds of the birds and the life outside your bedroom, let it remind you that resurrection is at work. And let it help you to cultivate an open heart to receive resurrection in whatever unexpected ways it may show up in your life. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to like it, to share it with others, or even to subscribe to our channel. But thank you for listening.